my gosh, you guys, betrayal has got to be one of the worst things that we can feel as human beings. It is so incredibly painful. It often leaves us questioning ourselves, even though we weren't the person that betrayed, because oftentimes the betrayer wants to turn it around and make it our fault. We lose ourselves, we get depressed, we're shocked, our trust is broken, our mind is boggled, and then that person wants to be back in our lives. Now, I'm going to use betrayal in a general sense because as human beings on this planet, I would venture to say that every single person has been betrayed at least once, if not many, many more times, and myself included. I've had a lot of betrayal in my life, and each time I'm literally blown away. I am shocked that it even happened. My feelings are hurt. I am just like, wow, this is not something that I would ever do to somebody. Why does this keep happening to me? And do I allow this person back in if they are wanting back into my life? Now, you can also swap the word betrayal for cheated on you. If someone cheated on you, that might be what you're thinking, but cheating on is a betrayal. My name is Kristen Brown. I'm a relationship healing and self-worth recovery spiritual and empowerment life coach, mentor, author, and the host of the Sweet Empowerment podcast, Reclaiming Your Personal Power, on both iTunes and Spotify and even on SoundCloud. Check it out. Lots of great content there, a little bit different than what I deliver over here. So jump over there. I have 134 or something episodes and a lot of great interviews with experts. So let's jump right in. When is it time to take this person back? When do we know if it's okay? The first thing what I want to talk about is remorse. Sometimes people do realize that they've screwed us over. They realize that they've hurt us painfully and they're remorseful. Well, in this particular situation where it's a really, really grave betrayal, because we're going to talk about doozies in this particular one, because we're kind of small and minutely betrayed just kind of all the time. I mean, people tell us little white lies, or they don't show up when they say they're going to show up. And there's little bits of betrayal that happened all the time in our lives. And for the most part, we can flow with those things. But when these big Mac daddies befall us and we're just absolutely rocked to our core, but we love this person and we're like, do I even want to have life without this person? Then this is what I'm talking about. Now, after your betrayal or you being betrayed, you might be thinking, no, I don't really give a cat's butt if this person is in my life anymore. And you have every right to do that. Give yourself permission to do what you feel is right. But if you're someone who's kind of floundering back and forth about, do I take this person back? I really don't want to lose them, but is this okay? What if it happens again? Well, as couples, as people, as human beings, we are here on this planet to learn and grow and evolve. And sometimes part of our spiritual journey is to have the experience of betrayal so that we can learn and grow from that. Sometimes the growth comes by us ending all ties with that person, cutting ties and moving on, cutting our losses. Because there's a lot of loss sometimes when you've invested a lot of time with somebody, but sometimes it's like, you know what, I'm done with your ish. This isn't the first time. You've been full of it since the beginning. I've just had it and I'm over it and I'm moving on. More power to you, brother or sister. But sometimes the journey is, I'm feeling called to do something different in this, but I don't want to make the wrong move, because sometimes we're not centered in ourselves. Sometimes we really don't know what the right move is. So I'm hoping that this video today is going to help you guys get really clear on that. So the first thing is remorse. How remorseful is your person? Have they taken responsibility? I don't mean just a little bit of responsibility and then throwing some blame at you. I mean full-blown responsibility. Responsibility where anytime that it is brought up, they're like, yes, my bad. I understand. I hurt you. I did that. It was terrible. I'm going to do my best to turn that around and never do that again to you. That type of responsibility. Responsibility that is consistent. Apologies that are consistent. Not one and done. Not one and let's sweep it under the rug. And I want to hear the words, please forgive me. and it to be humble. People need to understand that if they betray you, unless there is a full-blown ownership, and I mean in their soul, in their cells of what they did wrong, if there's not a full-blown ownership, then chances are this person did not learn from that experience. So I want you to really feel with your heart and your spirit in this and say, am I really feeling this? And are they being consistent? That's number one. Number two is, if this is a romantic relationship or a friendship, but mostly if it's a romantic relationship, it is important that you stay separate from that person. Don't jump right back in and give them the full of you. If this person has betrayed you, then guess what? You remove that awesome freaking you from that person. They don't get the whole of you. They don't get the whole of you. They have just proved that they have disrespected and dishonored the whole of you. So while you are taking the time to figure out if you want this person still in your life, it is uber important that you take a step back and you put some space between the two of you. This doesn't mean you don't have to communicate. I'm not about rules in these situations. A lot of coaches and mentors that I hear out in the world, especially on YouTube, are like, there's a 3-day rule and a 5-day rule and a 6 months rule. What I'm trying to do is help you get in touch with your instincts and your intuition and to follow your inner guidance and stay away from that person. Remove yourself from that person wholly, which means if you're normally sleep with them, don't sleep with them. If you're having sex with them, stop having sex with them. If you over accommodate and go out of your way for that person, stop doing that. Let's say you were picking up someone's kids from school and you're like, you know what? You need to find someone else to do this for now. Okay? This is about really pulling your energy back from that and staying consistent. Stay separate from that person, because here's what's going to happen. It's going to reveal a shit ton to you. You're going to start to see, because the person who is truly remorseful is going to be like, I get it. I understand why you need to do this. A person who is just trying to manipulate you through their apologies is not going to understand, because they're going to continue to try to manipulate you. Now, if you're a woman in what I'm talking about, and a man, actually this goes both ways for women and men, abstain from sex. Please. That is a sacred union between two people that honor and respect each other, unless it is agreed upon otherwise to do it differently. If your person is not currently honoring and respecting you, go take care of that business yourself. You don't need to do that thing. Now, oftentimes we are kind of drawn back into that because we either have amazing chemistry with this person or we feel like it's going to connect us and make us safe. Ladies, I'm talking to you. We bond sexually. We bond that way. Oxytocin is released and we bond sexually. So chances are it's going to make you more of a doormat, because you're going to bond again with that person, and that hormones and chemical release is going to make you vie for that person. Abstain from this, okay? Just for now, until it is the right moment. This person is in the process of earning you back, all right? The next thing is to ask yourself, what have I learned from this experience? You're going to be like, what the heck? We're on a spiritual journey, y'all. This is all about learning and growing and healing. And how do we get better at relationships? By healing ourselves. Because when we work on ourselves, we naturally show up more empowered in relationships. What did you learn from this? Now, sometimes, going in the cheating subject, sometimes our person cheats on us because we have been ignoring them. They're in a partnership for a reason, and we've been ignoring them. Sometimes it's because they got bored with us, because we're doormats, or we're people pleasers, or we're boring as hell because we're just we're just followers. We're just following them around, and we're not bringing any sort of spice or anything into the relationship. And sometimes people cheat really because they're not in touch with their own needs and wants, but all of a sudden Mr. or Mrs. Magoo comes over here and they're like, oh yeah, and they feel that thing that's missing, and they're not even really consciously aware of it, and then they end up straying in that direction. What are you learning? I'm not saying this happened to you. I'm not saying that. Look into yourself. What did you learn? Maybe you've been putting up with some crap for far too long. Maybe you saw hints of this. Maybe your person was a big flirt for the longest time. What have you learned? Did you sense this from the beginning? Could you tell this person was a player? Could you tell this person wasn't into you? Now I'm just giving you some examples. It can be something completely different than any of these things, but what did you learn? The next thing is, what has your person learned? This is really important because this goes hand in hand with taking responsibility. Sometimes, and I've seen this many times, where people have had a huge betrayal in their relationship or marriage. Maybe I'm speaking of a cheating on in this particular instance. And within that betrayal, that person really learned something. And actually, that betrayal, that cheating on ended up being, strangely enough, ironically enough, the best thing that could happen to them, because it opened up a dialogue and a sharing of feelings and heart where there wasn't one before. And those people now have a connection that they never had before. What is your person learning? Have they sat down and said, you know what, I learned that blah, blah, blah. I learned that this is really important when you start to have these conversations with your people. And you can see that there's more happening here. There's more unraveling, and you're feeling it in your heart. Your heart is starting to open a little bit, not because of manipulation, because you truly feel this soul connection. That's good. Keep moving forward, but don't jump right back in again. Again, it's not time yet. You will know when it's time, but this is not time yet. It's not like, oh, okay, they get it. I'm over it. Let's commence. This new awareness needs to solidify in your person, and whatever you're learning, the new awareness needs to solidify inside yourself. The next thing is, what is your motive for taking this person back? What is your motive? Is your motive healing and growth, and you're seeing something shifting here and it's magical and miraculous? Or is your motive that I'm afraid to be alone? I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. There's nobody else out there. I'll never find another friend. I'll never find another job. I'll never find another this or that. What is your motive? Is your motive out of need and lack? Or is your motive out of this makes sense? Now be careful here, because the ego likes to play tricks in this arena, because that little cunning little ego wants to go, oh no, this is why. Okay, well, you could just be cutting yourself off at the knees if you're listening to your ego. Okay, you have tapped on this video and watched this video because you need help right now. And I'm helping you in the best possible way I can, and that is helping you get in touch with yourself. When you're in touch with yourself, be honest. Why am I considering taking this person back? Is there real change involved? Is there a shift in the relationship? Is it, whatever reason it is for you, and decide if that is a good enough reason for you. I implore you to really think about this, because you want to see some kind of a change. The relationship literally needs to do some type of 180. I used to always say 360, like a complete turnaround, and people would say, no, it's a 180. So I'll go with 180. The next thing is, do they understand? Now, this is vitally important. Do they understand that they have at least 50% of the work to do to heal this union? Okay, I didn't say this is all you, because a lot of times when people are betrayed, the other person's like, well, you just need to get over it, or you're still talking about that, or what's your problem? Why is this such a big deal? Come on, I said I was sorry. That's a whole bunch of hell no. If somebody has betrayed you, and I'll use cheating as the example, guess what? They hurt you. They cut you off at the knees. They took that trust that you had and ground it into the ground like it was a cigarette butt, okay? No, they need to now nurture, water, heal, fertilize, and help you grow back up again, all right? They have at least 50% of the work to do. And this is going to take dedication on both sides. A lot of people don't have these conversations going back in after some type of cheating or betrayal. There's going to be a learning curve here, all right? And both parties, including the perpetrator, has to step up. I cannot make this clear enough. And I would even invite you to bring your perpetrator in. I'm sorry I'm calling you a perpetrator, but you perped. Okay, you did perp. You did something wrong. And if you're listening to this, you're like, no, I did. Or if you're like, what is this crazy woman saying? Why are you listening to this? Guess what? Your person probably shouldn't stay with you. But if you're here with an open heart and you were the one that was cheated on or betrayed and your person is with you and they're listening to this with you, first of all, I commend you for owning your stuff and being here. That's good stuff. That's really, really good stuff. And please know that you're going to need to help your person regain that trust back, because it was annihilated and it's not just their responsibility to make that back up again. And lastly, what is your heart/gut/intuition telling you? This is probably one of the most important parts. You already know the answer. Yep, you already do. You already know the answer. Are you listening to it? Whatever it might be, this is going to be okay, but slow down. This is going to be okay, but you need to take some space away from each other. Sorry, the camera's moving, you guys. My thing broke and I'm having to hold it with my arms and they're getting tired. What is your instinct telling you? Is it saying, this is never going to get any better? I know it. I'm really beating this into the ground. I'm hoping for something that is just not possible. I really need to move out from this. Or is it like, take it slow, listen, show up more empowered, take some space? What is it for you? It is so vitally important that you get in touch with yourself, because a lot of times these things happen in our lives, and this sometimes can be hard to hear because we are out of touch with ourselves. We're not showing up as brilliant, bright, light, vulnerable, open, and magnificent because we have this built up shame inside of us. It's super important to know that you got to heal that shame inside of you, and you got to really get in touch with your higher self. The last thing is that learning to trust others again is rooted in learning to trust yourself. People are like, I don't get that. What does that mean? What that means is when you truly trust yourself, you're going to see things for what they are, maybe even before you see them. You're also going to love yourself so much. That is why you trust yourself, because you know you're a spiritual being and you know that you know things, and you trust you, that you're going to follow your nose and you're going to follow your instincts and intuition, and you're not going to wait till things get as bad as they potentially have gotten. You're going to sense things sooner, okay? And the most important part is you're not going to be afraid to speak up. We're often so afraid to speak up because we don't want to push our person away, or we don't want this thing that we're fearing to be real. All things brought to the light can be healed. Anything left in the dark cannot be healed. Bring it up to the light. Talk to your person. Set your boundaries. Be real. Step into your full self in the most grounded and loving way. Now, I realize a lot of you are like, I don't know how to step into my full self. I don't know. I'm so lost. I'm so afraid. Well, for those of you that are recovering from betrayals, from toxic relationships, or you just have this dysfunctional pattern that you just can't seem to break, but you're very aware of it, and you would like to heal this once and for all, for good, I invite you to join me in a one-on-one training course called the Self-Love to Soulmate Masterclass. You will get one module a week for 6 weeks. You will have an accompanying workbook, and every week a 60 to 90 minute one-on-one coaching session, mentoring session too, with me, where we work through all of it. The feedback I'm getting from this course is absolutely outstanding. I was gonna say outrageous, but I mean it in a really good way. It's outrageous. People are shifting by module 2. I can see the light bulb going off. I can see the spring come back in their step. The smile comes easily. They are running to our meetings. They can't wait to get there because you start to feel better immediately. There's a reason why we keep attracting dysfunctional relationships. I was that person, and this course is literally step by step what I did to heal myself. It's called the Self-Love to Soulmate Masterclass, and you can get all the information you need about that on my website at kristenbrown.org. I believe it's on the homepage, but you can also hit the coaching tab. I hope so much that you guys got a lot from this today. These videos are very important to me. I really share my 100% authentic truth to you. They're not designed to be sales videos by any means. It is my heart to yours because I hate to see people hurting ever since I was a little girl, and it's always been my life's journey to help people, to lift them up, to be a cheerleader for those who really feel lost and afraid and stuck. So don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Ring the bell icon so that you get notified for new videos. Please comment. I love your comments. I love to comment back. And be sure to give me a thumbs up. So much love to all of you. Peace.